Coming up next, more detractor content and after that Dragon Ball Z, only on Toonami.
Debo, our first tipper of the day, tipped $2. By the way, I think he got banned again by a mod. He says, when you first ordered Qdoba and you didn't enjoy the food, wouldn't you be upset if the owner of the business blamed you because of their inadequacy? You're responsible for the menu, not us. But the point, what? Let me think about this. Really, I want to think about this for a second. So, the restaurant makes bad food. Outright, the restaurant makes terrible food. Okay? It's awful food, right? It's disgusting. The shrimp is gross. The onions are way overpowering in flavor, right? The guacamole is so bad that it's just gooping and sliding down the plastic. It's obviously revolting. If I eat that, I'm going to get sick, okay? So I go to eat it and I criticize it. And now you're saying that that's the equivalent of Qdoba blaming me. No, that's not at all. That's not what the situation is, stupid. First of all, I paid for the Qdoba, right? Right? I purchased it. I have the right to complain about it if it's bad or whatever, because I purchased something outright and it was a bad product, right? And the quality could even make me sick. It's completely different thing, a transaction versus someone is providing something for free that was requested, okay? And then people don't want it. To correct your analogy, which is so incorrect, this would be the equivalent of Qdoba saying, hey, we're going to give out free food today. What would you like? And everyone said, hey, we want free chicken bowls today. Okay, I'm going to do my absolute best to make you a great chicken bowl. And so I make a great chicken bowl, and I put it out, and no one shows up. Where is everyone? It's free chicken bowl day. You said you wanted chicken bowls. Here's the free chicken bowls. No one came. Where are you? It's not even like you showed up and said, oh, I don't like it. You didn't even show up. The store's empty. That's the equivalent comparison. So nice try, stupid. But no, I'm not. Your comparison is asinine and stupid. You don't even understand what a fucking analogy is.
All right, so let's get into this. DSP's 3-day meltdown has been absolutely spectacular to watch. Obviously, I did my initial response on the day one of the meltdown, but he's just been continuously freaking out over the past few days. I wanted to talk about this clip in particular because I love the irony of someone turning the restaurant analogy around in his chat and him not understanding it. So Debo makes a great point. If Qdoba did turn around and say, hey, it's your fault you didn't enjoy the meal that you ordered, well, that's your problem. Imagine the baby tirade that he would have on Twitter tagging Qdoba's customer service like he did with Burger King regarding the chicken sandwich and how much of a freak out he would have. But of course, DSP was like, what? I don't understand. Trying to figure out a way how he can deflect this into back onto the viewer again, because he is incapable of actually taking any responsibility or doing any sort of self-reflecting. Debo was super on point. And then DSP's attempt to deflect with the whole oh, well, you told me you want these chicken bowls counter analogy doesn't make him right at all. He doesn't know if people who did recommend Hades and Crow Country showed up or not. He just knows that a lot of people didn't stick around and a lot of people didn't support. So let's say you own a Qdoba, right? And I go, hey, I would like to go to your Chicken Bowl Saturday sale. And you have it, and I walk in there, and I look at the chicken bowl, and I go, you know what? This doesn't really look that appealing. I'm going to leave, and I'm going to go somewhere else. It's not that hard. His deflection ends up just being another argument against him if you take 2 seconds to actually process it. But of course, DSP can't actually process anything. He just kind of word vomits and hopes that he can confuse someone enough to then somehow win an argument? I still don't know, because he's just arguing with people who can't respond, especially when you end up banning them either way. And to the point where he goes, oh, like, I can criticize it. Like, yeah, no one's saying you can't criticize. Like, he loves to throw in just, like, unnecessary details into his responses to, I don't know, like, I guess he just loves to hear himself talk, or he loves to sound like he's somehow more intelligent than he actually is. But being like, oh, well, like, I can criticize. Yes, you're allowed to criticize something in the same way that people are allowed to criticize you and tell you, hey, the games you're playing, we aren't really enjoying. The commentary you're doing, we aren't really enjoying. Like, you could, and that's the thing. You could be like, oh, well, I gave you a chicken bowl on Friday and you liked it, and I'm giving you a chicken bowl on Saturday and you're telling me that you don't like it. Well, yeah, I mean, people might like it on a certain day or not. Like, I don't know how he thinks that everything is going to be consistent forever and nothing will ever change. But it's, I don't know, man, like, and I'm not trying to repeat myself, but it's so, like, just listening to him try to, like, make sense so that he comes out as a victim in some way, or he comes out, like, not wrong. It doesn't, his logic is so weird in saying, oh, well, just no one showed up is somehow not the same of receiving something and not enjoying it. But then again, like, no one is obligated to show up. Just because they requested it doesn't mean that they're obligated to show up. No one owes you anything. You should be able to be good enough to draw people in regardless of what you're doing. And this has been repeated ad nauseum by the detractor community, by myself, by everybody else involved, and he still doesn't get it. He still can't figure it out. That if you have a good enough appeal on your own, you can make a fucking all kinds of shit all week and no one would care and people would show up and support you. But anyway, the cherry on top is when he calls the viewer stupid, or Debo stupid, and says they're an idiot and all that. And man, DSP, this ship sure do be sinking fast. Keep scuttling, buddy. You're gonna do well. You're gonna go far. Right to the bottom of the ocean. Anyway, bye.